You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex.
And I'm Sam.
And we're the Bloodshed Baddies.
You know it.
Woo!
Welcome back. Hope you had a great holiday.
For those of you who know us, we're doing 2 recordings in a row, so this one might get wacky.
Wacky tacky.
Okay. So, if my timeline is correct, this one comes out the week of New Year's.
Oh.
So, this is the last episode of 2025.
Oh.
Sam.
Yeah.
Do you have New Year's resolutions, goals, whatnot?
Ooh. I usually don't really do the New Year's resolution. Like, I like to work on things. Obviously, like this year, I'm going to work on loving myself more or stuff like that. This year, I haven't really thought about it because my brain has a million jillion things on my mind. And as those close to me, no. I think I just honestly want to have a very positive mindset about all the amazing, beautiful things happening to me into 2026.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Thank
that.
you.
I typically try to do like resolutions or a goal or something. A couple years ago with my friends, I did a vision board. I haven't done one since, and I think I might do one this year.
I love that idea. You should. And I feel
Yes.
like I might try it if I have time.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a fun thing to do.
That is. I agree. What do you know what you are doing for New Year's yet?
I have literally no clue.
It's still early
Ish.
for us. Yeah.
Do you know what you are doing for New Year's yet? Oh, you and Brandon do the same thing every New Year's.
We do. We make a little blanket fort and make a nice dinner and chill in our PJs. We're lame.
Yep, a little bit. But that's okay.
Lexi unapproved.
Yeah, not what I would do on New Year's, but it's fine.
We'll find out next episode, Batty. Or maybe not next episode. Oh, probably.
No, not next episode.
What?
It won't be New Year's yet. Next episode. It won't even be Christmas yet when we record next.
We'll eventually find out what Lexi does and we'll all make fun of her for it.
Yeah, you'll find out at like the end of January.
We try to be early birds.
Yeah, well, we usually try to stay, we're usually like one whole week ahead.
Yes.
But now we're trying to get 2 weeks ahead so that way we don't have to record Christmas week.
Yes, because we want to enjoy the holiday season with our family.
Yeah. Okay, well, you want to go?
Yeah, this week I'll jump right into it. I did want to mention at the top that I did get a lot of information from the Amazon Prime documentary, The Manhunt, The Murder of Emily Longley. It was a very interesting documentary, and I believe there are others out there as well, but definitely go and watch that one. And here we go.
I think I've heard really good things about that documentary, but I literally have no idea what it's about.
It was really interesting, and I just came across it and was like, oh, that looks good. And it ended up being a really good documentary. So recommend. Also, I feel like this case is going to enrage you, Alexis.
Oh, great. I need to be enraged today, I think.
Let's get Lex spicy. All right, Emily Longley was born in London, February 22nd, 1994. So she's a 9-4 baby like me. Woohoo! She was born to her parents, Caroline and Mark. Caroline is a neonatal nurse and Mark a journalist.
I thought you were going to say neonatal Nazi for a minute. And I was like, what?
No, not at all.
Way more honorable. Way more honorable.
Yes. She a baddie. Anyone who's a nurse in neonatal, come on. 18 months later, they had another baby girl named Hannah. When Emily was 18 months old, she was actually diagnosed with a form of osteoporosis, which is a disease that causes the bones to be weak and brittle, increasing the risks of fractures.
Oh my goodness, poor baby.
I know.
And that age is when you can easily break a bone. Like you jump on the trampoline wrong and you break a bone at that age. You jump off the couch wrong and you can, and then to be even more fragile. Ugh.
She also unfortunately had eczema, allergies, and some food intolerances. So she was unfortunately always kind of in and out of hospitals. And this did, of course, impact her.
Oh my goodness, poor baby. And how scary for those parents.
Oh, I would be freaking out all the time. Although this was her life, Emily really did have a like grab the life by the reins kind of attitude. And obviously, these things would sometimes get in the way, but she really just tried to live her life and do everything she could or wanted to and like didn't let them define her. Emily was also extremely beautiful, and her father did say at one point, quote, people always focus on Emily's beauty, but there was a lot more to her. She was sweet and kind and loving, and it seems like everybody agrees with that. In 2003, the family moved to New Zealand. Emily was 9 years old at this point. Basically, a specialist told them it would be better for Emily to move out of London into like a greener environment. So the whole family made this move. And Hannah, the younger sister, kind of had a hard time with this. She was moving away from friends and family like her grandparents. So she was kind of upset.
Yeah, I mean, of course you want what's best for your daughter's health, but like that is a big move for your whole family.
Yes. When Emily was 14 years old, her parents separated and eventually divorced, and this really affected Emily. After that, she had like a rebellious streak, and she would like sneak out and go to clubs at 15 years old.
Whoa.
Now, I Googled it because I'm like, that is so young. The drinking age in New Zealand is 18. So it's
Oh
not like
yeah. Yeah.
totally, totally
I
bizarre.
forgot about that.
Yes, but still, rebellious.
Quick side note, when I went to New Zealand, I never once got ID'd, which hurt my feelings a little bit. But then I realized I'm nowhere near 18, so maybe I shouldn't. But being at a bar with a bunch of 18-year-olds was wild.
It has to be pretty fun, I would say.
Yeah, the vibes are vibing. I was like waiting in line, and like all these people in front of me were like ordering like tons of shots, just like
Oof.
tons of shots. And I was like, I'd just like a champagne, please.
That's why they didn't ID you. No one orders champagne here. This girl's definitely above age.
I mean, they just saw me walking in. They're like, look at that hag.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no way she's 18.
Don't gotta ID this one, Paul. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know who Paul is.
Move her on in. Move her on in.
But again, not totally wild, but still a little wild streak Emily has going on. She just wanted to, again, experience everything and didn't see like rules or her age getting in the way. She's one of those like free spirits. Now, in December 2009, Emily and Hannah go to the UK to visit their grandparents in Bournemouth. While visiting, Emily went to a meeting at Buckenhurst College, and they basically are like, we would love for you to come join us here. And Emily wants to do this very badly. Although her parents were hesitant, they knew like Emily would figure out a way to do what she wanted anyway. And also the fact that she would be living with her grandparents while going to college, they thought, okay, this should be okay. We're going to let her do this.
Mm-hmm.
So again, although it was far, it was a familiar environment and it was to go to college, so good reason. And both parents give their blessing for Emily to go. This made Hannah, the younger sister, upset and a little resentful because remember, she had a hard time moving to New Zealand in the first place, and she wanted to be back in the UK to be with family. So she's upset. Emily ends up moving in with her grandparents in 2010, and she starts attending college at Buckenhurst. While living with her grandparents and attending college, she also gets a part-time job at Topshop, which is a fashion store. I believe she was in the business program and eventually wanted to get into fashion in some type of way.
Okay.
In December 2010, Emily went out for dinner with friends Carla and Max, who were dating. Max bought a friend he went to school with named Elliott Turner. He was either 19 or 20 around this time, and Elliott was a part of a group of affluent young men in Bournemouth who called themselves, quote, the Firm.
No.
We love a friend group with a name.
I cannot. The Firm.
The Firm. On the night they met, Emily was pretty unimpressed with him and actually sent her mom a text saying she couldn't stand him and he was a playboy.
Yeah. Sounds, I mean, that's what I assume when your friend group is called the firm.
But around Emily's birthday in February 2011, her dad starts to become aware of this guy, Elliott Turner. Emily obviously changed her mind about him.
Emily. Yeah.
Yes. Grandparents let the dad know that he had been coming around and they've been hanging out.
No, Emily.
The grandparents were like, he seems quite charming and responsible. And then her dad asks Emily about Elliott, and she's not too forthcoming. It is her dad, after all. She like doesn't want to talk about her love life with her dad.
Fair.
But Emily and Elliott seem to be getting more serious, and they actually go away for a weekend together. And I think like the grandparents asked the dad permission, and like everyone was on board that this would be okay. Emily's basically an adult now, all that kind of stuff. In April of 2011, Emily goes back to New Zealand for, I believe, like a 3-week visit during Easter time.
Okay.
Emily was happy and confident and seemed to like emotionally mature a lot. And her parents were very pleased. She also was like getting along with Hannah, and it was like a really good trip. Everyone was just getting along and happy and all that kind of stuff. She also apparently told her dad that her and Elliott were going to end things. But all in all, it was a nice trip, and her whole family was like really sad to see Emily leave, and Emily is sad to leave as well, sending them like "I miss you" text and things of that nature as she left.
Mhm.
A week after Emily leaves her family, a call is made to the UK emergency line 999. It is Elliott Turner's mother making the call. She says on the phone call that she went to wake up her son and his friend, and when she did, her son woke up, but the girl didn't.
I'm already suspicious of this.
The 999 operator is like, "Is she breathing?" And the mom is like, "No." So the operator asks, "Is there anything around her neck?" And Elliott's mom was like, "Oh, there is a necklace tied around her neck." The 911 operator is like, "Take the necklace off," basically. And then emergency services gets there. You can hear Elliott's dad at one point on this phone line.
I don't know what this story is, but this is screaming Mama's boy's getting Mama to do his dirty work for him.
Oh, just wait, girl.
Oh no. Oh, this is gonna make me mad.
I knew it. Emergency arrives to the Turners' 4-bedroom bungalow, and they very unfortunately find 17-year-old Emily passed away on her boyfriend's bed.
17. 17.
Yep. One thing they noticed is the bedroom Emily was found in, Elliott's bedroom, was immaculate, and there was no sign of disturbance whatsoever.
A boy, a 17. Well, how old is he? Sorry.
He's a couple years older than her, so he's 19 or 20.
A 19-year-old boy's bedroom is immaculate.
Odd. Emily was wearing denim shorts and a denim top, which she was wearing the evening before, and also had no trauma to her body besides a slight mark on her neck consistent to a necklace being too tight, like said on the call. There were no obvious internal or external injuries, and there was no clear cause of death. Emergency services contacts the family, and Hannah wakes up to her mother screaming. After that, Hannah calls her dad, and the grandparents contact the dad as well. And at this point, there's no clear sign of what caused Emily's death, and the family is thinking of every possibility. But they're like, could it have been a heart attack or something along those lines? Was it a freak accident? Just like racking their brains of how could a 17-year-old.
Just drop dead? Yeah.
Yes. Back at the Turner household, since Elliott was the last to see Emily, and she was found dead in his room, they of course question him, the police, and Elliott told an officer that they were out the night before drinking and actually got into a physical argument. And at one point, he did make contact with her neck.
Oh my God.
Elliott said he never meant to hurt her and was just defending himself because she was kicking and screaming. He said after this, Emily was okay, and he went and got her water, and then they went to bed together. It wasn't until the morning when his mom came to wake them up that he realized she passed away.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Your nose is longer than a telephone wire.
Elliott did have some nicks on his arm and a slight bruise on his side. However, there wasn't really a way to tell if it was from the night before or not. But again, because he was the last person to see Emily alive and things aren't really adding up, like you're saying, Elliott is taken into custody. He had all the information of the night before and they wanted to get to the bottom of it. When he arrives, the police actually put him in his cell at first, which appeared to be pretty shocking to Elliott. He thought he would go like right to a interview room.
Yeah, because he's in a friend group named The Firm and he thinks nothing could ever fucking touch him. I fucking hate this guy. I hope I'm supposed to hate this guy. Because I'm really sorry if I find out later you're a good guy, but I hate you right now.
Now, police have 24 hours to charge Elliott or they have to release him, so they can keep him for 24 hours. The police are also waiting on an autopsy because they have no idea how Emily could have passed away. At first, they think maybe a toxicology report would show something because, again, she was 17 and healthy for the most part, besides the little things.
Yeah, I might think like maybe they overdosed on drugs.
Yes, it made sense that they would think this way. But they also want to look into the crime scene and Emily's relationship with Elliott to see what was going on there. The police reach out to both Emily and Elliott's friends, and very early on, the police get a picture that this short 4-month relationship was very volatile and very toxic. Elliott wanted to know where Emily was all the time. He wanted to know what she wore, who she was going out with, and where she was going to be.
Oh my God. This man needs to have his nuts removed.
Elliott was very controlling. Apparently, he would regularly call Emily a whore if she even looked at another man, and he also hacked into her Facebook and would tell men to like F off.
Okay.
Now, remember how Emily went to visit her family? Well, Elliott saw her out and enjoying her life with her friends from back home. Like pictures were posted on Facebook of Emily with her friends, both female and male, and he got extremely jealous. Elliott left a voicemail for a friend, basically being like, she is being such a butthole and so disrespectful. So right away, police become aware that this was not a great relationship, and Elliott was at the very least verbally abusive.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. His freaking 17-year-old girlfriend shows up dead in his bed. I'm sure it's just verbal abuse. Ooh, I'm glad I hated this guy.
I knew you'd get all fired up. The police also see that this behavior seemed to be quote unquote normal for Elliott because at 16, he received a warning for harassment at one point.
At 16, you're harassing
16.
people? Oh my God. And mommy's just going to come clean it all up. Mommy's just going to come clean it up. Mommy's going to call the police for you. No, mommy should have got your ass in fucking therapy.
Preach. People also said that Elliott was a flash cash rich kid who modeled himself on being a gangster. Remember, he was like part of the firm?
No, you're not a gangster.
Elliott also saw himself as like a leader to his friends. And they thought that they basically like owned the bars. Just you.
Oh, this is the kind of person I hate most in my life. This is the kind of person that like says one word to me and I automatically get the ick. This is the biggest ick that you could ever have in your entire life to me. This is disgusting. These people don't make other people feel comfortable, especially women. You're gross, awful human beings. Stop.
Now, just like any toxic relationship, there were some moments that seemed like love. But Elliott, more often, would threaten Emily, ridicule her, turn up unannounced when she was with friends. He would like sit and wait for her in the parking lot and say he was crying, causing Emily to feel bad for him. And then she would end up leaving her friends and going to be with him.
This is so manipulative. So manipulative. That man is a narcissist. He never cried a day in his life.
Nasty behavior, yes. Emily's sister, Hannah, said that her picture was that there was a number of times violence was involved, but with him being the one dominating himself over her.
Duh.
Yes. I also saw in one source that Elliott picked her up from the airport after her time visiting her family. And instead of like welcoming her home, he presented her with a card. So he like gives her a card. And the card said, "Dear Elliott, I'm sorry for being such a poo bird. Love, Emily." Like he gave that to her. Just like so weird and manipulative.
Oh my God. 17-year-old me would not have responded in this way, but 34-year-old me would rip that card to pieces in front of that man's face and walk home from the airport rather than get in his fucking car.
Yeah, just bizarre. And you're right. 17-year-old me would probably be like, oh, haha, like, is this a joke? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it was clear that Elliott viewed Emily as more of a possession. There was actually a letter found in Elliott's bedroom written from Emily. This was following the weekend away that they went together. In the letter, she wrote there were concerns about Elliott's violent behavior. She said she loved him, but he needed to stop being so aggressive and stop saying that he was going to kill her.
Oh, I want to take this little girl and be like, that probably means he will. So run.
An awful, terrible situation for Emily to be in. I just feel so sorry she had to experience something like this. Now, on April 30th, Elliott left another voicemail to a friend outlining the fact that he was going to cause serious harm to Emily.
Are you kidding me? Call the fucking police, dude.
He said, and I'm obviously censoring myself, quote, F her. You know what? Out of every single bird, I'm going to effing mess this one up. I'm going to F her off soon. Absolutely F her off soon.
No, you need to call the police if your friend calls you and says that. That's not a normal response. If you don't like her, break up with her. If you're mad at her, stop seeing her.
Also, like, disgusted that he's like, this bird, this single bird. Like, I don't know. Ew.
Yeah.
Now, although this behavior shows that he's obviously a nut, Elliott Turner's threats like this were not taken seriously by his friends. Apparently, he had a reputation for bravado and was actually nicknamed, quote, All Talk Turner. So friends didn't believe threats coming out of his mouth at all.
Okay. Yes, and.
Yeah, because like no one should talk about this anyway. So like maybe just contact somebody about these threats.
Yeah. But I also get if your nickname's fucking All Talk Turner, then maybe nobody really does believe anything you're going to say.
Yes. Anyway, on that same night that he left that voicemail, April 30th, CCTV footage shows Emily entering a bar and Elliott is there and she goes up to him and makes contact with him. He is very dismissive with her and it is clear he doesn't want to talk to her. Her and her friends go and sit at a booth. And then in this footage, he walks by, grabs her head and smashes it into the table.
I'm sorry, what?
In front of her friends in public.
He smashes her head into a table in a bar in public. What the fuck does he do behind closed doors? If you're that willing to do that in public, you do worse behind closed doors.
That was my next line. This is the first actual footage of violence, but if you're doing that in public at a bar with cameras around, what are you doing behind closed door? 1,000% just sick. Sick.
What were her friends' responses to this?
They didn't show that in the footage, but I can't even imagine if I seen that happen to my friend.
I would immediately call the police. Immediately.
Yes. But again, we're more seasoned with like knowing like red flags and things like that. These young girls might just be like, oh my God, let's just like leave.
I do think at 17 years old, I would call the police if my friend's
Yeah.
head was smashed into a table.
No.
Maybe not, but I'm almost positive I would.
I would hope, right?
Yeah.
Now, with this information, because this is all the information the police are finding out, and with the cause of death still unknown, the police are really focusing on the relationship because it is clear that Elliott had intention to harm her.
Yeah. So he did have all like the classic framework. Like, ready? He had the motive. He said to everybody he wanted to harm her. She was pissing him off and he wanted to harm her because she was living life happy with other people besides him. The means, he had the means to hurt her. He's got strength on her already. And the opportunity. She fucking spent the night at her house. Like, this is clear cut almost.
Yes.
I know you have to get the proof and stuff, but damn it, there's not one thing that's kind of like maybe.
Yes. Police then find out that around 7 days before she died, Emily decided to break up with Elliott, and this caused him to completely escalate the situation. So Emily was trying to get away from this situation.
This is the worst part about dealing with men like this, the crazy of the crazies, is that you're doing the right thing by removing yourself from the situation, but that is actually the most dangerous time for these women, is because
Yes.
that is when the men get so angry.
At some point, Emily texted her mom saying she was thinking of breaking up with Elliott. And her mom said, why this time? Because just from the mom's point of view, she knew they were up and down. She obviously did not know the extent of it. Emily was not forthcoming with that.
Yeah.
And Emily replied saying that he was threatening her relationship with her friends. Her mom said this did cause her to obviously worry because that's stressful. And the mom wrote back, quote, if this behavior is like this already, it will only get worse, which is so sad and so true.
Yep.
On May 5th, 2 days before Emily was found dead, Elliott was told that Emily was out with another guy drinking at the bar.
Who's telling him this? What fucking asshole is lighting this man's fire?
Elliott arms himself with a hammer.
A hammer?
And there is CCTV footage, Lex, of Elliott walking into the same club with this hammer.
How did he get into a club with a hammer?
That's literally what I wrote. How is he allowed in? But thankfully, the friends notified Emily, and Emily was actually at home doing homework. She wasn't at the bar with a guy.
So someone made this fucking shit up?
Seems like it.
Who the fuck did that?
Weird.
Or did his own brain make that up?
Honestly, don't know. Could be. But so, like, he thought that she was at a bar with a guy. He heard it. Maybe it was a rumor. Maybe she was going to. Who knows? Regardless, you go to a bar with hammer. Elliott didn't make contact with Emily. Obviously, she's at home studying. But he tells her friends that he killed Emily.
What?
And then later on goes, no, I'm just joking.
How did no one call the police on this man?
What the actual poop?
How is everyone just letting him talk like this? I don't care if your name is Elliott Turner or not at this point. This is getting psychotic.
I don't even know how I would react to someone saying I killed your friend. Like, I probably would start bawling. I probably would hopefully call the I mean, now I would know for a fact I would call the police. But like, what? Now, on May 6, 2011, it's a Friday, Emily decides to go out with her friends, and they arrive to the bar just after 9 p.m. Shortly after, the CCTV footage shows Emily walking into the bar. Elliott Turner walks in, like he must have been following her. From texts with his mother.
I knew this bitch. Ooh, I hate her just as much as I hate him. You have enabled this behavior. You are disgusting that you think it's okay that your son acts this way.
Well, we know there was some type of altercation between him and Emily, and that Emily ended up pouring her drink on Elliott.
Good for Emily. Good
Agreed.
for Emily. I know that put her in danger, but good for her.
He said in the text to his mom, this is to his mother, quote, I could effing break Emily's neck and beat the F out of her. I'm going nuts. The only reason I didn't flip was because my best pal was with me, quote.
And mom's like, haha, okay, honey.
Well, she responds and she says, quote, don't do anything that is inappropriate, Elliott. You are so young. You have so much life ahead of you. Love, Mom. I'm going to bed now. XX.
Go ahead. I can't find the words for that one.
I feel like I would go to the club, grab my son, and kick his butt if he ever thought that it was okay to talk about a woman that way. Anyone.
God, wash his mouth out with soap and fucking break his fucking neck.
Yes.
Again, this is so sad. This is so sad because there's so many opportunities where the police could have been called. If I knew that my son was in the same bar as this woman and was saying that kind of shit, I would call somebody.
Yeah.
Can you please go check on my son and make sure he's not killing a woman outside the bar?
Yep. Following this altercation, Emily leaves with a friend that isn't Elliott and goes to a friend's house to watch a movie, I think. Elliott shows up.
At the friend's house?
Yep. And persuades Emily to go with him.
No. Whoever this friend is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But do not let your friend go. Do not.
I believe on the guise that Elliott would take Emily home. He's like, I'll take you home. But she ends up going with him, and Elliott takes Emily to his house, not home. Witnesses will report that they saw them argue outside the Turner family address, and police believe the fight escalated, and that is when Elliott Turner murdered Emily Longley in the early hours of the 7th. Police also believe that Miss Turner, Elliott's mother, is not being truthful. When first questioned, she said that Elliott and Emily had a loving relationship and she saw no squabbles. And to that, I bring up the text and the fact that she said my son's friend and not my son's girlfriend on the emergency phone call. Miss Turner also originally said she saw Emily and Elliott in the kitchen at 5 a.m. having a glass of water. But then she changed her story and said it was only Elliott. So there are some clear lies going on over here.
Because she's covering up for her baby.
Also, before Miss Turner called emergency services, she called her husband first, who was at work. Waited for him to come home to call an ambulance. Remember, you can hear her husband on the phone call. So Miss Turner called Mr. Turner, waited for him to travel several miles back home until she put in a call to emergency services that her son's girlfriend was dead. So police believe there was a 1 to 2 hour delay here and that they were clearly holding back information.
I hope this woman goes to jail. I hope this woman goes to I hope her and her son rot in jail cells together. This is disgusting.
So by Saturday afternoon, there's a motive, there's evidence from texts and friends' accounts, and there were discrepancies with timelines. Now the police are just waiting on the autopsy report so they can charge and arrest Elliott Turner. The results come back, and the pathologist could not give a verdict on the cause of death. There was not enough evidence to show she died from strangulation. The pathologist even went as far as saying, while it is rare, especially in young 17-year-olds, death does happen through natural causes sometimes.
Say that one more time for me. Say that one more time.
So the pathologist even went as far as saying, while it is rare, especially in young 17-year-olds, death does happen through natural causes sometimes.
Is this mom paying this man off? Like, what? 17-year-olds, it's rare, but sometimes they just drop dead.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she's got an abusive fucking boyfriend.
Yep. But police can't use this autopsy, and this is a total letdown to their case.
I'm sorry if I'm screaming in your ear right now while you're driving.
They're probably screaming too. Police start going through everything, and they notice that a jacket at the scene of the crime in the bedroom that was photographed was no longer in the bedroom. How could this be? Well, Elliott's parents went to their house on Sunday morning with police permission because allegedly Mr. Turner needed some medicine. After that, the jacket was missing. Police obviously asked them about this, and they deny removing the jacket and then disengage their contact with the police. Shady.
So they said, we didn't remove the jacket, but we're not going to talk to you guys anymore at all.
Correct.
Sounds not suspicious at all. This is, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what these people are doing right now.
I love it. Police don't have much here, and their first interview with Elliott takes place May 8th in the morning time. Elliott would literally laugh at some of the questions and like smile and smirk.
I could not be a police officer because I'd deck this fucking kid.
Yep, he showed no remorse or sympathy or concern and literally replied no comment to all questions.
I would beat this kid's head in.
There's no concrete evidence to charge him, and he is placed on bail. Police decide that they want to bug the Turner household and get permissions and whatnot to do that, which, like, good. Now, on the evening of May 18th, it pays off. And they end up getting a lot of information that I'll share with you. So the first thing they get is Elliott and his father are talking. And his father is like, Every second of the day, it is burning that I know something that they don't, and it's like eating him up inside. The dad says, I know I shouldn't have destroyed that letter. We destroyed a vital piece of evidence.
What letter?
So now the police are aware that evidence was destroyed and there's evidence of the parents' complicitness in this crime.
That's got to be enough for like something, though, right? You know?
Later on the tap, they hear the dad saying, I destroyed the letter with bleach. The letter saying that he killed her but didn't mean to do it.
Wait, he. Whoa, 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 whoa. He kills this girl and then writes a letter and says, I killed her, but I didn't mean to. And his parents are like, should have done that, little Johnny poo poo face who's going to be in the firm for the rest of your life. We'll just pour bleach over it.
Yeah, that's what it appears like.
Oh my fucking God.
And then the mom, though, was like to the dad, no, he didn't say that. And the dad is like, stop denying this. And the mom is like, no, I'm not denying. He didn't say that. So the dad then goes, what did it say then? And this is like all on the tap. And the mom said, it just says it's self defense. He doesn't know what it is. Then the dad says, he effing strangled her. This was clearly a huge break in the case.
Oh my God.
On the early hours of May 21st, Elliott is talking to his parents and said on the tap, I just flipped, grabbed her, and I effing grabbed her as hard as I could, and I went effing heck, grabbed her like that and pushed her like that. Now, this didn't prove that Elliott murdered her, but showed his awful character. He also says at one point, quote, that girl had ruined my life. And his mommy says, quote, yes, she did ruin your life.
You murdering her ruined your life, not her.
I want to slap mommy and Elliott in the face.
I think mommy's got a crush on her son. I think it's one of those scenarios.
On June 1st, Elliott is on the tap again, and he tells his parents, like, I did some research on the computer. And he's saying this on the tap. And typed in death by strangulation, death by suffocation, manslaughter trial, how to get off innocent, and how to get away with serious crimes.
Oh my God, I'm so happy this man is so stupid. I'm so happy that he's so fucking stupid.
Like, way to look guilty, you idiot. Why would you research that?
They're interviewing you. You know they're going to look at your stuff.
Yes.
How to get away with serious crimes. Okay.
The tap picks up another conversation, and it is Elliott Turner coaching his mom, saying, you need to say the call to dad was just to complain about me and how lazy I am. Basically because he was saying she looked so guilty for calling her dad first before the ambulance. The tap will also get the dad saying, the truth will come out, Elliott. And Elliott is like, what truth? The text I sent out saying I would kill her or bringing the weapon to the club? That's going to F me when I go to court.
I love that this family is so blase about this fucking crime in their house. It's wild. They're horrible humans. They're all awful fucking humans to just be talking about this crime all the time. But thank fucking God they did.
Yeah, just these bizarre conversations. And police also notice in the taps that when speaking of Emily, there are no tears, no breakdowns, no emotions, and like only the dad feeling like some type of way about it.
Yeah, the dad's like, y'all are stupid. And now I'm fucking stuck in this. Not that he's a good person. He's still a bad person. He should have immediately went to the police.
Yes. He should have went right to the cops. But the tap helps out a lot. And on July 19th, 2011, Mr. and Mrs. Turner were arrested for perverting the course of justice. And Elliott Turner was arrested for the murder of Emily, along with perverting the course of justice as well.
Let's fucking go!
After the arrest, the police interview Elliott a number of times over a 2-day period. They played some audio recordings from the tap and were really hoping for a confession. And although they said at times it looked like he wanted to talk, his lawyer was like, nah, and kept going with the no comments. Later that day, though, he's actually charged with the murder of Emily. The trial started at Winchester Crown Court April 18th, 2012. The lack of cause of death would be the big issue for the prosecution here. But they call up a lot of witnesses and friends to the stand, and they talk about Elliott and Emily's relationship, all telling the truth about how toxic it was and how awful Elliott was to her. Also, a friend of Elliott's actually says on stand that the day before the murder, Elliott actually practiced a chokehold on him. Now, this friend went to the police prior to the trial, but apparently his buddy Elliott was in a rage and looking for ways to kill Emily. Elliott and his friend also discussed whether he was going to set fire to her or drown her.
What? Who is this
Now,
friend? We're just talking about this? How come everybody is just acting like this is okay in his life?
yep. Now, this friend said at one point while Elliott practiced the chokehold, he was fearful for his life because Elliott wouldn't let go. But this shows clear premeditation.
Okay, but keep talking to him about all this stuff. Keep letting him practice on you. It must be just for fun. It must be all talk Turner.
Elliott takes the stand and says he was acting in self-defense in an attack Emily gave to him. So blaming the victim.
Makes sense. Yep, that's for sure it. 100%. Why didn't I think of that?
Yep. He was also showing no remorse and seemed like it would be over soon. The lawyer even brings this up and is like, "You don't seem too sad there, Elliott." And Elliott was like, "Well, it was a year ago." Just wild.
It was a year ago, so I feel nothing. Okay.
The prosecution also brings up that a chokehold is really interesting for a self-defense claim, like that takes a while, etc. They also show that on Elliott's shirt there were traces of Emily's makeup and saliva on the forearm, which suggests his forearm was around her neck in that chokehold. Just sick. Of course, they also bring in the wiretaps. Emily's family will also find out in court that Elliott was actually threatening to come to New Zealand to see her, but Emily, of course, never mentioned this to her family. On May 21st, the jury reaches their decision, and the jury finds Elliott Turner guilty of murder.
Thank God.
Allegedly, when they said this, Elliott said BS.
Oh, yeah, BS. BS. This guy, I would not be sad if he was no longer on this earth. I don't want him to die, but I wouldn't be sad if we didn't have a scumbag like him here.
The parents will also be found guilty as well for perverting the course of justice. So good.
Thanks God.
Elliott was sentenced to life imprisonment, although with a minimum of 16 years, which hopefully he's just in there for life.
Oh my God, this guy's going to get out.
I hope not. And his parents were sentenced to 27 months. Just like an awful situation that was so quickly escalated, and I think can show how harmful and awful and fast domestic violence can escalate. I do want to end on Emily's family and how they are pushing through, though, and like their words that they've said, because I think they're very powerful. Emily's sister now has her master's degree in psychology and works in suicide prevention, so she's a baddie.
Wow.
Emily's mom said, "I want young women to know that it is not okay to be treated the way Emily was treated, to be criticized for the clothes you wear, for the friends you have." She also says, "It happens time and time again to grown women as well as young girls like Emily. These men may appear charming, but they are manipulative. If they threaten violence, get out of the relationship and run."
Yes.
Yes. She also said at one point, "At first, I was very distraught that she had been taken in by someone with all the character traits we talked about. But during the trial, I realized that she did recognize them and was trying her hardest to get away from him. And I'm so proud of her for that," which I think is beautiful.
For sure.
Now, the dad is a journalist and also released a 3-part podcast that is linked, exploring death, grief, and how to survive after your world explodes. He strongly believes that more of the responsibility of confronting domestic violence lies with men. He said, quote, "One of the most common questions in family violence is why didn't she leave him? Not why did he hit her."
That's a great point.
Isn't that? It's fantastic. He also said, "The man is out of that equation. All the onus is on the woman. There's no suggestion that man shouldn't have been hitting her, and we need to reverse that. It shouldn't be up to the woman to leave and go to refuge. It should be up to the man to stop being violent."
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
And that is the awful murder of Emily Longley. While I was researching this case, it did, to me at least, have a lot of similarities to the Gabby Petito case that you covered.
Yes, so many.
Yes, and I was thinking in my head, I really wish that they would have bugged Brian's house.
Yeah.
That could have been so helpful.
Yeah, especially because the parents definitely knew more than they let on.
Yes, but if you haven't listened to that case of Lexi's, you 1,000% should. It was earlier on. I don't know the exact episode
Yeah.
number.
Oh, I could find out really fast. Ready?
Yes.
Do 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 do. Six. Episode 6.
Episode 6, go listen. And also, I just wanted to point out before we end it that if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, in the show notes, I put a lot of help for resources down linked below. Please use them because, like this case shows, it's an awful situation that many, many, many people find themselves in. You are not alone in it whatsoever.
And if someone you know jokes about hurting or killing another human being, please don't take it as a joke.
Yes, please, 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 no. That shows their character.
Well, happy freaking New Year, baddies.
We're sorry.
Thanks for listening. Woo, this was a heavy hitter. Especially we had 2 heavy hitters in a row and we
I
filmed them
know.
back to back. So I'm feeling like I need watch something funny, maybe some
Me.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something after this.
Yes.
Please follow us wherever you're listening to the podcast. Make sure you're downloading our episodes, leaving us nice reviews. That helps us find more people. So that way we can keep doing this because it's fun and we like it.
Yes.
Also,
we'll
see you. I was not done yet.
Okay.
You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Ready?
I'm done now.
Send us an email with a case suggestion or story to bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com. Intro music made by Cousin Vinny. Tell a friend, tell your local deli man, and tune in next week for a Lex episode.
Our first episode of 2026. We made it, y'all. This year's been wild.
Yes, we're all going to have the best 2026 ever.
Woo, 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 woo. Bye.
Bye. Love you.